we were discussing the issue of waiting room, but even whilst that period is happening, we're going to switch the topic a little bit. Talk about what we fail to teach our men when they enter this institution called marriage, because there was a group talking about this, and they were highlighting a few things that men fail to understand about women and about marriages. And I'll take a few, and I'll let the ladies take a few. I'll take two. It says they fail to teach men sensitivity to women's emotional needs, a wife's sexual rights and sensitivity while trying to conceive. So let's discuss that, and I'll let Miriam take the other one. Okay. A wife's sensitivity to conceive. So during that waiting period, it's not easy for either the man or the woman, especially the woman, where it's hard to conceive. But a lot of men do not understand how difficult a woman feels when she's unable to have that conception. And when there's family pressure from all over the sides, they don't understand how to manage it such that it doesn't hurt.
When it comes to this area, I think you can't give what you don't have. So a family who are bereft, you know, the mother will just say, when I marry, what's 2 years? How old is your husband?
I don't pop him.
I married this year. When I born her, I tried twice, I born her. You know, they don't understand. They cannot even tell their son. So those families who, when the wife is going to children, say, hey, what exactly is wrong with her? What is PCOS? Yeah. She don't abort that year. That's why. So what would that family give their son? They are of the same boat. Yeah. It has to be another miracle, angel from somewhere else with a different perspective to life that can change that person's or experience. So that when their own child has to go through it, they can then understand. Even some families are very empty. When their child is even going through it, they're seen as abnormal. So I think it's not just our sons now. Our families. Yes. And that's the issue of conception. But the other issue of wife's sexual rights. So when you are in that, I know that's your area of specialty. In that room, so a man is not taught to understand that this woman too needs to be pleased. Exactly. Needs to enjoy the situation.
Yeah. So you know the mindset of the mothers. They too were not taught, except for some tribes in Nigeria that I know that they take you to the fattening room. Yeah. But it's just for the women. So they teach the women how to satisfy the man and please the man, but nobody is teaching the man how to please the woman. So what happens is because the man has the mindset that I am Lord, I am the husband, I have the final say, he doesn't pay attention to the needs of the sexual needs of the woman. Sometimes some will have a conversation with you like, women are just there. They don't need anything. It's not... when a woman is now beginning to have a conversation of, do it like this, I like it like that, they'll say, you are spoiled. Somebody else has touched you. Who is teaching you this bad thing? Not knowing that a lot of women had to suppress that because they felt society did not permit them. So we need to start raising our young men to understand that exactly how you feel, the woman feels that way, so pay attention to her, ask her questions, ask her how she likes it, have that conversation, be open. Two of you are one. That one means, and he knew her, according to the biblical words, and they became one flesh.
All right, I'll let you respond and then take the next
so for me also the sexual rights, I think also it has to do with the times when a man feels he needs to have it, whether you like it or not. And you know, sadly, we have stories of women who say, I had a CS. I got home just a few hours or a few days after my CS, and my husband has insisted that he wants to go on, no matter, you know, I mean, it does not even occur to him, like, don't you even have human sympathy? You see someone has been cut, but people go through that. And men is really the way we bring them up. A man knows, he's been taught, he sees, he hears, that he has the right to ask for it whenever he needs it. And if a woman is unable to give it, he has the right to get it from someone else. So even now having that marriage where you have one person, you hear the man warning her, see, I'll marry another one on top of you. I've loved you because I love you, you're the only one. But if you don't, you know. I will go outside. And so those are the things we need to teach men. I think we don't teach them enough empathy. We teach them how to be manly, go out there, hunt, make money, bring it, take care of your family. But we don't understand that in taking care of your family, there's an emotional side, there's the nurturing side, there's the caring, attention-giving side.
Just to me. A man who says, I have sexual needs, if you can't meet it, I go out, I think he's doing me a favor, Yes, because I've seen a man whose wife cannot meet his sexual need for medical reasons. You rape her. And a man was saying to me after about 20 years married that, I've decided to stop raping my wife if she doesn't want to give me sex. I was like, eh? Shock, baby. But these are some women's reality.
Yeah.
So women do have sexual rights. They have a right to be sexually fulfilled as well. Fortunately, I come from a religion where we discuss sex religiously. So if I am not sexually fulfilled, it is a ground. So just as you have a ground, it is a ground, yes. If I'm married to my husband in Islam and he's not sexually fulfilling me, I cannot go and be doing zina because of him. The marriage can vacate so that I can get married to somebody who can sexually fulfill me.
Wow.
So yes, it is Islam, and I'm saying it here. So it is a ground. And I don't understand why we shame women. Because these conversations, we always have them in closed doors.
Yeah.
Because we shame women who dare come out to say, how does he feel?
Exactly.
I've never known.
I've never experienced
So
it.
you have, the prophet used to talk about foreplay as to prepare your wife. You don't come to your wife.
I need to read
if it takes you, if you take, yes, in the sunnahs of the prophet. If it takes you 24 hours to prepare your wife, it includes gifts, it includes making her happy all day, preparing for the final thing. Yes. So you cannot quarrel your wife in the morning, shout at you listen, I have my food there, and she eventually put the food in front of
and you want body to open.
And then in the night, you say, Alpha, that's not how it's done. We're not animals. So, these conversations...
That chapter, screenshot it.
Just even open the
Send that chapter to me. I need to read
open
this.
I will send you some links of some of these scholars that
let me take this call.
This is important.
Fola Shade, are you there?
Yes.
Oh, got you. Yes, go ahead, Shade, you're live.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And you are doing a good job. And I need to say that...
Oh, Fola Shade, want to hear you.
This is our call line.
I think we're having issues with the network. Fola Shade, are you there? I think we lost her. So whilst we are doing that, let's take the next three. Yes.
Okay. So it says things we need to teach our men before marriage. There's also first trimester blues, pregnancy bump and changing body, and care of a pregnant wife.
That's awesome.
See, that is very important. You see that care of a pregnant wife and then the changing body, because I think even recently we had that conversation where it's like, you have changed. You are not, where's you have folds and whatever around your belly. Meanwhile, she has dropped 5 children for you beside you. You can see the reason why. And you're answering. And I've always wondered, and it seems it's true, I've always wondered that, is it that men are really that clueless as to how your body is affected by that constant...
And they have a mother.
9 months. Yes. So obviously, let me say Nigerian men are not being taught about what would happen to it, but although you think it's common, you think it's common sense.
I think they're just being selfish. Yes, simple.
The marriage counseling has to go a little beyond that. These are the things that you would see, and when she's pregnant, these are the ways that you can help. There used to be this girl when we were in university. Her boyfriend, when she's on her period, I don't know where he learnt it from. He will get her warm flasks. He will massage her feet. He will cover her up. We used to just look at her like, wow. He knew that then, you know. Those are the sort of, and you had boys that would look at and say, look at this.
My friend
There's an important part, the first trimester blues. Because a lot of men don't understand that. Many women, I didn't have any of those issues, but there are some women that in the first 3 months, it's almost hell for them. They are spitting, they're having sleepless nights, they're having morning sickness.
There's a culture.
They're ill, and a lot of men don't understand the fact this is a phase. You must understand emotionally.
There's an African culture that makes men not understand. So when the wife starts to fall sick and she's pregnant, the mothers will just come. It's a pregnancy. They will now push him aside. He will never see
part of
what he will be a part of it. They're helping him through. So those couples who are not within family, the man would have to see to his partner's health. So he will know. This is our culture of let me come and do. One of my uncle bathed his wife after postnatal birth for the first 40 days of all their 3 children. And you know the way he puts his wife, all that body changes, he value him, he saw the tears, he saw I think that's what we should be doing.
This pregnancy thing also has changing emotions that come with it.
So
our moods, you know, are swinging left, right, and center. Some parts of the body are, you know, changing. Mine happened after I had my first baby, and I just sort of lost my taste for anything. Don't even touch me, don't come near me. I was still struggling to understand how to love the baby and love him. So my emotions were everywhere. And he felt like something had happened. He was, I had to talk to this person. Thankfully, the people he spoke to were experienced. They were wise. So they sat him down and said, her body is changing. She just had a baby. Give her time. Understand that this is a process. And you would help her come out of it, or you further push her away. And we had to walk through that process. So I think the men too, I don't see where men gather and talk about how to please their wives. Have you seen?
It's not a career.
Yeah, it's not a career. It's women that gather. This conference, they're talking about how to make the man happy and everything. That conference, I don't see men gather and gist on how, hey, how do you make your wife satisfied in this aspect? How do you make your wife happy in this? I don't hear that sort of conversation. We need to encourage it as we are raising our boys.
Yes.
The way we gather to talk about how to please them, they should also have conversations on how to please us. Let us balance it.
These conversations are some conversations you have to be careful when you are hearing. Because some people will be telling, I also I say 10 horsepower man. You come and kill.
But you see, the post here is more related to things about pregnancy, wife, and all that, which is fine.
Family.
But it's important for us to raise these issues because today we're not lamenting on men. We're just saying that there are things we'd like men to know more. And I'd like you to take the next three. BC.
Okay, so we have care of a pregnant. Okay, we've taken that. So we have labor and delivery.
Yes.
Perineal tears. Role in baby care. I want to take that
role in baby care.
because the typical African man feels is the responsibility of the woman, because the woman is a nurturer, to be the only one that cares for the child. I think you're not giving the child the total experience of the home. The child comes in for both of you. Both of you should be able to take care. So you can find a way to, because it's also a way of showing love that you are invested in this. One of the ways that I start it is you will enter the labor room with me. I've had 3, and those 3 times he entered the labor. In fact, the last one, I had to pause it because I was waiting for him. He was in traffic for him to come. So that the experience is fulfilling and wholesome. We are all in it together. When he saw that, he knows he can never raise his hand on me because he still remembers what I went through. So aside from that, the care of the baby, how do we bathe the baby? Sometimes help this woman. She's the one that has just, for those that have mother-in-laws like me I had, who was hands-on, I rested more. But there were some homes that, you know, they don't have a mother-in-law or a strong woman to come and do that. So you can also learn how to help her sometimes to bathe the baby. Don't think I'm doing your job. I'm taking care of my child. What if I was not there? What if I ran away? You will not get your baby.
You know, there's statistics that actually show, there's data that shows that men who are involved in the caring of their baby and being hands-on with their children have a better, more fulfilling with their children as adults. You know, we have that relationship where an adult child feels he's closer to the mother, and when they lose their mother, they are inconsolable. But with their father, they sort of rationalize it, and sometimes it can be because the father is never really there. So they show their care by providing, but they don't have that emotional connection, hands-on relationship with the child. So for the sake of the father going forward, if you are involved that way, that child also knows to go to you for nurture and care and affection.
Basically.
What's the last 3, Nyma?
The postpartum depression, changing body. Miriam already addressed changing body. Effective nuptial communication. That one, I think there should be a class for it in school.
You did talk about you didn't read perineal tears.
BC did.
I want to talk about the changing body.
No, but let's quickly talk about perineal tears.
Okay, go ahead.
Perineal tears for women vary, and they heal differently. So I resorted to herbal medicine. I had a terrible perineal tear for my first child. And I resorted to herbal medicine that worked within 7 days. But I met women who, after several days, are having leakages and, you know, they're suffering.
I don't know what that is.
So when your baby is crowning during a natural delivery, and it's obvious your cervix can't extend beyond the cervix, the hospital is supposed to help you. Some women that to go to different other places to give birth have to tear themselves.
Anyhow.
Yes. Some people have to, in the hospital, even when they help you do tear, they do so and stitch back. But healing of that area takes some, it depends on body now. It takes time for different women. So men should understand when the woman is sore in that area. Some people, I've seen somebody who had terrible body odor. It was taking her forever to heal.
I have an experience with this. So I had a woman come to me. We actually met at a gym, and then we got talking and everything. And she was asking me that, is there any way I know somebody who can do surgery for her to suture up her body? She's had 4 kids. And I was like, why do you need to do something like that? She now explained that her husband doesn't give her time to heal properly. In fact, from the last episode was from the hospital the guy had gone in and the thing tore. They had to take tore again, and they had to take her back. Now, I now said, why did you have to go through all that process for 4? And she said they told her that the man keeps threatening that if you don't do this, I'm going to go outside. And so she had to. Now, the conversation now moved to the man is now going out and complaining that that place is now slack. That was the conversation, and so she needed help.
You see, the man is still the one complaining of
exactly.
The
so I had to, when I now had subsequent talks with some women, I had to tell them that everybody heals differently. So for some people, they need like 3 weeks, they need like 4 weeks. You need to understand your body. That what I used to protect myself was to give myself 3 months. I don't care if I heal in 2 weeks. You know, concern me. 3 months.
Emotionally ready.
Yes, and I begged Oga and said, you like it, Abi. You want when you come back is the same. Give me time to heal. And it's a conversation we need to start having so that you don't have men at the end of the day complaining. Because if you let me not use medical terms now because I'm not a doctor. I will not be allowed to use that. But that it takes a process for the body. Our body is elastic. It actually is meant to come back. But you need to give it that time so that you don't lose it at that. But we need to have this conversation with our men.
We need to talk about it. So there are some cultures that are talking about talking about sex and what happens in the room is not something you discuss openly. You're just supposed to grow up and know what to do and how to do it. Yes. Wow. But the truth is that you have to have that conversation. I know that it's not a conversation you'll be sitting down with anybody to be having. How dare you? You're a bad person. Who raised you? You know? So now that we see the effect that it can have in marriages, because I think one of the reasons why this is listed is that many marriages begin to have fractures once a woman has a baby, because of all these new things that the woman is even trying to grasp, the husband is trying to understand. So we need to start having those sort of conversations in a healthy, educative manner. We're not saying, you know,
okay, let me throw in this angle. So yes, you just had a baby, you need time to heal. But you as a person are not very, very sexually adventurous kind of person. So you use this opportunity to lock up for a while. And you don't tell a guy, I'm not interested. And then a guy is there complaining, okay, he has given you 3 months. After 3 months, you're not ready. He gives you 6 months, after 6 months, and you're just like, you're not doing it maybe once every 2 weeks and everything. And then in that kind of situation, where does the angle of compromise is? Where does a woman draw the line? Or where does the man draw the line when the woman is insisting that she's still not ready for that?
No, but may I beg that we talked extensively about compromise yesterday on the show, and marriage is not for children. You have to swallow your own, you don't like it, to satisfy your husband. He owns your body the way you own his body, okay? So what I did, I don't know if I should be using myself for this example, is because I understood the situation and I needed time to be okay, I deployed other methods.
Okay.
No, I'm not explaining.
That's why that's the problem we have.
Method here. Don't be scared.
Method already know now. Don't
how do you know?
Just say deploy
alternatives to satisfy your man, so that you can keep his heart. You see, we need to be truthful about this sort of thing.
There's the last part of this highlights we're taking, which is the nuptial communication. And this communication is important.
Important.
Growing up, I used to see my aunties talk to their sisters about conversations that should be their husband's conversation. And as a young girl, poor me, had an old auntie confide in me about those kind of issues that she should be talking to her husband about. So I had to say to her that, I should go and tell him. So she was like, are you crazy? Yeah, but as you're telling me now, what will I gossip? You know, and if I go and say it outside, then you start saying,
you can't say it outside.
So she understood, and fortunately she took it well, and they had the conversation. And what she was experiencing had a therapy to it. He just Googled and said, can you try this? And so they would delay urine and delay the urine, and she felt better after a while. So there are alternatives to these things. And we must, there's also a level of patience you must have when a partner is discussing something that's supposed to be a difficulty to you. So some men just like,
So I was thinking what Morel was also saying.
Okay. Can you hold that thought?
Okay, let me hold the thought.
When we come back, we'll continue this conversation in a more calmer way. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing what are those things we need to teach men concerning women, especially in the issue of caring for women during pregnancy, after pregnancy, and their early marriage.
Yeah.
Mariam, we're going to say something.
Yeah, you know, you were saying something about what if 3 months that you had given is not enough? And sometimes it's true. You cannot tell at the time it starts that it will be done in 3 months or in 6 months. And that is also what we're talking about, the postnatal blues and things like that, and depression. That's where therapy comes in. We cannot overemphasize the importance of seeking someone who is professionally supposed to help you go through that period. I know that we used to have, like, parents, when you have this issue, you go to your parents, they'll talk to you. Some people go to older siblings, or in church, I think they have a way that they talk to them. But we need to understand that there are sometimes a man and a woman have to sit down with a professional that will guide them again towards intimacy with each other, will help the woman release herself. There's some women who are, for many years, their confidence came from their bodies, the way they looked. And so even in the other room, it was because of the way they looked, they gave their all, and all of a sudden their body has changed. They have to recognize, who is this person? I don't understand this, but I'm not even confident in this person, and I cannot be intimate with you because of the way I look right now. So the husband has to understand and know that this is not a woman rejecting me. It's actually a woman struggling with her own confidence and trying to help her. So when he understands that, he sits with someone who is able to help them. It may take a while, but that's what marriage is about. You will stay the course with your wife.
Be a good family friend, spot a situation and help. So I had my fertility issue, and the direct colleague, I just want to say thank you, sir, to Mr. Oche. His wife had been through that. Bed rest wasn't a new thing. All 3 children, CS, birth, and all of that. And at the time when my husband was, where do we go? He just spotted, maybe, I think a conversation we had about me being in the hospital with my husband, and I said, you see this one? Better hold her hand till the end. That one conversation changed everything. But you have one person, they say, 18 they do. Now, wow, this one you married, God will help her. You know that?
True.
Some people
but there are people like that.
And, you know, there are people like that, and they really did not mean anything, they just play. But this is a very serious situation in couples' lives, and if you don't know it, kukuma, be quiet.
See, there's something called, that was the first issue we raised, women's emotional needs. You don't know what her emotional needs are per time. Sometimes she just wants to cry. Sometimes she just wants to be alone. Sometimes she just wants to mop around. There are times where she just wants to be, she just wants to see anybody around her. But a man must be able to study. Because when that woman goes into that phase, even her herself doesn't understand her body, doesn't understand her emotions either. So what they need usually from their partner is understanding, patience, perseverance, because many of them even feel like the men at that time abandoned them to their emotions. So they feel alone in that journey of healing. And what we're trying to say from this lamentation is that men need to understand that's when the woman needs you the more. Either you
like
comfort her with your words, comfort her with your presence, comfort her with your conversation, comfort her with, different ways of comforting.
It's like a man losing his job and you're wondering, is it about ego? And the man is just, saying, can I just, realign, rearrange, do formation, and the woman is all over him. When he needs his time, he does need his time. Grief is another thing that, you could be grieving about a lost job, waiting period and everything. Grief is one thing that confuses you. So you might need cuddling, but you're just saying, just don't come inside my room. And, be patient through it. I remember that my child, after the evacuation and we came back home, my husband, I just did not want to, I sent my mother out. I sent my mother-in-law out. I did not feel the need for anybody to boil hot water for me. So he will do the hot water before he goes to work in the morning and ask, do you need to be massaged? I'll be looking strange. I can walk like a zombie to the bath and I'll be massaged and I will not say thank you, nothing, no word, no good morning, nothing, and I'll go back to my room and I'll just go and hide and sleep like that. So it took a while. And I said to him, in 2 days, I need to go back to work. I just need to get out of this house. I don't want to be here. And it was fine. Whatever you need to do to get better.
So I also like the men to understand that that's the time you need to observe your partner, the mood changes, try and understand with your partner what the partner is going through, a place of empathy. Empathy is very important. And don't take it personal. Because what we see that, you see the woman exhibiting most of these things, and then you assume, wait till I do her now. I've dropped everything for her. I've done this, I've done that. I beg. I beg. And you think it's an attack on you, on what you have probably not done, and you take it personal. So you see some homes where the wife has started the mood swing stuff, and then the man just goes away, and he doesn't come back home.
They even call outright witchcraft.
Yes, and you know,
she's always been harsh.
So there's something, and our body changes as we grow older. Before, I didn't used to pay attention to when I'm about to flow. I never used to notice anything. But right now, I realize that when the time is coming, I become very aggressive. I become very snappy. So I will not have to check my calendar to say, oh, okay, that's why I'm sorry, that's why. So now that when I'm becoming snappy, he says, you're about to, Abi, I should give you space, you know. So it takes years of understanding how the body changes and the right approach to you. So when you don't take it personal, you can now be more empathetic towards your partner.
Mariam, I want you to address this issue. Please take a comment for us. I want us to address this issue of the macho-ness men feel, their ego, you know, because just like we said earlier, nobody taught them these things. So when they come, they don't want to be vulnerable. They don't want to be like, I'm understanding. They want to remain that masculine, you know, firmness.
They don't want to be a sensitive man.
What this conversation is trying to achieve is that your masculinity can be readjusted to understand where your wife is coming from.
I like the way you put it.
I like the way, it can be reassuring of a woman in all of those situations.
It was meant for protection.
And, that's what I wanted to add this.
Thank you. Your masculinity is meant for protection
by God.
Not for domination.
Not for domination.
Faith is hailing us on Facebook and saying, good topic. Please, when will you ladies talk about menopause and emotional swings?
We are not yet there.
No, we are not yet there. No, we are close to it. How of us are experienced? You are not close. Okay, me, I'm close. You should be close. We are all getting there. Now, the reality where they are at your age. You're not close.
But talking about the masculinity, I like the way you said it, that, you know, when the one way we have brought men, the one way that men are raised is really about showing how masculine they are. First, you need to be strong, you need to be masculine, you need to provide. And any man that is sensitive, many times we've talked about sensitive men here, and I get messages like, yes, so that's what people will say on the table. But when you meet us outside and we are kind to you, we're the ones that you disrespect the most. Men say it all the time, and it's almost true, because also women are raised to see that man that shows the sensitive side as being weak. But then when you get married to that sensitive man, you now realize the importance of having that side of him. So men need to understand that when you are masculine, when you are out there protecting, fending for your family, that is very much appreciated, and we love it, and we think the best of you for that. But also, we understand that there are different areas to a person. So you should also have, you find some men especially, they are masculine, they are tough with their wives, but with their daughters, they are like babies.
Yeah.
So if you can find that side of you with your daughters, you can find that side of you with your mother, you can find that side of you when you communicate and relate with your wife.
Thank you. See that? Now, mushy. Do that mushy with your wife.
With your wife, you're family Lord.
Any comments? Let's hurry up.
Okay.
You have to run.
He said, well, let BC flow. BC is so apt. They like my dress. Omoni says, Miriam, it's important men of nowadays really needs marriage counseling. Adedoto said, please, all this don't say it by NBC is one of the problems why spouses don't know how to satisfy each other.
Don't worry. One of these days, we'll do one of those NBC waiver day. To say whatever we want to say. Okay, we have to run. Thank you, ladies. I think that's all we can take on the show.
Yeah.
I hope you learned a few things. I think our objective today was to express that there's a waiting period. And during that time, you can find yourself to do certain things. There's a time for growth, and you serve. Yeah. And even though in the other half of the conversation is men also need to learn lessons on how to be emotionally responsible for their wives. Help them to support them in these times, especially during early pregnancy and early marriage. That's all we can take on the show. Have a great day. We'll see you on Monday. Okay, I'm gone for the week. So I'm gone next week. So I'm gone for a whole week. So I'll see you up on Monday. But I think the show, the ladies will be here next week.
Writing this dissertation
again. All right. See you. Have a lovely weekend. See you Monday. Bye.